Yeah, Arie versus Josh, Heidi. Good matchup of, as we've been saying, very tall and very skilled players.
Yes.
I think we're both set, right, Heidi, to jump into the game?
Yeah, I'm ready. Let's go. Let's see it. And this
All
is
right.
another Collins game.
Look at the
So
captions.
tall, tall, nice.
You don't really get a sense of how tall just seeing in
Yeah,
their little portraits here, but
yeah.
to be specific, I think Josh is somewhere like 6'7" or 6'8", and Ari is at least 6'7" as well. So two guys that have to really fold themselves down to fit at that Scrabble board.
I'm
um,
like 5 feet, so it looks
yeah,
hilarious when I'm standing beside either one of these two.
but
They are both
it's a
over
metaphor.
tall.
It's a metaphor for the community at large. It really is. It takes all of us. We have all different types of folks in our midst, and that's what makes it
So
so
true,
cool.
and everyone welcome. Everyone is welcome. Uh, Ari, who even has a new NWL word named after him. Did you know that?
That's
Ari is
true.
a,
Yeah,
I did
Ari
not know
has
that.
become valid. That's true.
Nice.
So
Excellent.
good for him. That is another way now that the two players here are equals. Both names
Did we just see an
are
exchange or is
valid.
he just still
He did,
drawing?
yeah. So
Okay.
Josh drew a rack of Legion with another E, and he exchanged OE, leaving the really nice ING combination and the
Hmm.
EL. That makes a lot of sense. And of course, now you see he's drawn
Yes.
melting.
Yes.
So good decision by him. So Ari's got that X. I guess I would be kind of surprised if he didn't play the X, but he's got to be thinking about what can he play after Josh's exchange two. So when you see your
Yes.
opponent like
Yes.
Josh exchange two tiles, that means he really likes his other five tiles. So you have to factor that in. And he's going to play Kex. This makes
I
as
think
much sense as anything to
I
me.
would have played
Um,
rocks, I think. That's
yeah, I think
valid,
I
isn't
would have
it?
too. I think I would have as well, but maybe Ari has a particular reason that he's played
Yeah.
Kex, maybe a little more difficult to overlap the K. Either way, none of Ari's options would have avoided Josh
Yes.
playing Melting here.
Hey Mopo, welcome in, first time chatter. How does Josh operate in the daylight? I know he's always up at all hours, but here he is, sharp as a tack as always, playing his best words, and yeah, he's doing all right. We're not worried about Josh, but he
Yeah,
is apparently so hot he's melting.
that's true.
Surprisingly awake.
It's funny because he is melting into potentially having the bingo of waterage. He literally has
That's a
melted
word.
into
Come
it is a
on.
word. Yeah, I think it is. And I think he spotted it, and that is pretty likely to stay open through the T of melting. So,
Yeah.
very thematic game, and it is going to stay open. Look at that. So,
Wow.
this is a
And
good
it's a
play by
double,
Ari.
double. Yikes.
Yeah, but Josh is going to be all over. He has spotted this spot. I do want to call out. Does anybody else see a bingo that would be a tribute to our producer here with this rack? So Wateridge is the best play, but I just want to point
Yeah, he totally should
Greenway,
have played Greenway here.
Greenway to the end of melting. Would have scored 20
Yeah.
fewer points, but would have been much more
Just
of a
20? Oh, he totally should have done it for the content.
That's very telling that 20 points is not enough to sway you, Heidi, to play the strategically optimal play. 20 points is a lot.
I know.
Not to you, though.
No, because look at he's got 170 points. He could be at like 150 to or he's 61 and he would be fine. And he would have Greenway on the board and we would all be enjoying for National Scrabble Day.
That's a good point. So back to Ari. He's down by a lot, but he actually does have a playable bingo through the A of waterage. This is an NWL word.
Stop face? Is
And
that a thing?
almost, it is a face word.
Face. What?
It is post face.
Post
Post
face.
face. So Not an easy one for sure. Arie is so good on his words. I kind of think he's going to eventually spot it, but he hasn't spotted it yet, or else it would be on the board, I think. So we'll see. Not sure.
The conveyance of goods by water, water riches.
There you go. I love that scroll. That's really a huge one for,
Yeah,
because, isn't it weird, Heidi, that in Scrabble we don't think as we see fop going down, setting up the S, but that is a miss of post face. But regarding the definitions, we really don't think about definitions too much as tournament
right.
players, but I don't think casual players really see it the same way.
Exactly.
So duped goes down, blocking the S setup. That makes a lot of sense. There
Oh
were
my
other
goodness, do you
plays,
see
but yeah.
Annette's comment in the chat there? Oh, and look, that U goes down, but not where he could play it. But it
Oh,
says give him a U for I don't even know how to pronounce that.
Kaja puts, but also note David Firstman's comment, and hi David, nice to see you. Before that,
No
jetpacks to a
jetpacks.
K.
Ooh.
So this
Oh
rack with the
my
C, P, and J actually has
god.
multiple 8-letter
Amazing.
words that you could possibly play. That is
That's
not what you would expect from those
that's
letters.
one of my favorite things about Scrabble. Is these unlikely bingo racks.
Josh with a
Look
great
at
play,
this one.
dumping all that junk with toy, Collins
Amazing.
only word. Um,
Does it?
and
Yeah.
yeah, really
I'm,
nice
I'm
job here by him. But yeah, Arie has a bingo on his
yeah.
rack,
Quinn
which,
noting that septic, please.
yeah, I think this is an alternate form of just the regular word skeptic. I think you can spell it with two C's. And maybe he'll be skeptical of that spelling. No pun intended. Well,
Oh, I was
obviously pun
thinking of
intended.
septic. Does that guess that doesn't have a second C there,
That
doesn't it?
first C, yeah, septic
Yeah,
only has
okay.
the ending C. So
Fun with spelling. I write for a living, you know.
I. Oh, he misses it. That would have been huge for Arie to
Oh,
play Skeptic and Meltings. It just barely fits on the
oof.
side of the board, but instead he plays Peck. So no lexicon confusion to blame there either. Both of those words, postface and skeptic, are NWL, but both are very difficult words to find. So if you're not totally on your game, you could miss them. That is what happened. In any case, Josh, I feel like after Josh having bingoed twice in this game to 0 for Arie, he should be up by more than 50
Right.
points.
Yes.
But part of it is that Josh's racks outside of his bingos have been kind of clunky. And Arie, of course, bombed that J alongside Wateridge for over 50 points. So
Yes.
he's
Yes.
closer than you would think. Um, Skeptic would have put him way
Yeah.
ahead in the game. So I expect. I mean, Arie is really, really strong. Truly one of the top players in North America. So that it actually does surprise me to see that happen because normally he is so rock solid, but he's still
Right.
right there. Let's see how he performs in the rest of the game. And Marino, the play by Josh. I definitely like Josh covering that spot. The O of Toy Toy is certainly very scary for scoring a lot of
Right.
points. So I
Yes.
get why he's covered that up with this play. Nice bingo by Arie. This is this word with that ise suffix. It looks like a Britishism, but it's actually, I believe, that is valid even in the North American dictionary. So Arie's on the board with his first bingo. But a really nice overlapping play by Josh here. Wow, look at those hooks. He plays AUE underneath Kex, making two 4-letter words. That's just a beautifully aesthetic play by Josh. He's made a couple of those, and really his play finding ability is it's hard to think of anyone too much better. And he's drawn a bingo too. With a couple different possibilities. I don't know if Arie's going to be able to block them all. In fact, Arie with 3 O's and a V, that is not what he wants to see. So Josh is poised to potentially seize control of this game if he gets that next bingo down. And okay, Arie plays coup, and that is going to leave everything open for Josh. I'm pretty sure that he has already seen rideable into the E of
Ooh,
Merino.
yeah. Anything else in there?
Well, rideable with as a 7-letter word would play with KAE.
Right.
So I'm pretty sure that in Josh's mind, it's going to be down to those two. But also, if he wants to consider, he could play ribbled-er, more
Oh,
ribbled
yes.
to the R of Merino.
Right.
So he's got a bunch of options. I definitely expect him to pick one of those shortly. I don't really see a major positional benefit to ribbled-er, but it does prevent plays to that triple word score on the left side of the board. So if you
Yes.
imagine rideable being played, there's that nice I right in
Yes.
front of the double letter score. Maybe he won't
Right.
want to create that. So let's see. He has a devious grin on his face right now. If you look at him, I wonder what devious plot is going through his mind right now. I have to assume he sees his bingos and he's just sort of
Yeah.
evaluating. I definitely don't think he's going to play rideable, the 7-letter word, because it opens a ton of lanes, a ton of triples.
Yeah.
I wonder what he's thinking about here.
The game is very close too. Cheryl is asking, why didn't Arie exchange his awful rack last turn?
That's a good question. So he did have the 3 O's and a V, which is certainly not that appealing. But as some level of redemption there, he had the NG combination, which you can always get some help from an I from the bag with that. So I actually think the reason he didn't exchange is that he was still able to keep a 3 consonant and 2 vowel leave, which is decently balanced. Even though the letters involved, yes, there is a V, but other than that V, that's really the only fly in the ointment. The AGNO combination isn't really so awful that you would leap to exchange from that rack. Of course, we now see that he's drawn a second A and a second O after that play, which makes it look even worse. But had he drawn an I and a consonant, we could be seeing him actually threatening some good things here. Oh, wow. Very interesting. This has to be Josh having a moment of, lapse in confidence in which variation of rideable is valid. I don't think he wants to risk any of them and get challenged in such a close game. So that's why we're seeing Baird be played instead. But yeah, he's going to be upset, I think, when he realizes that rideable and particularly ribbled-er, which would have been even safer if he's worried about that. That's how it goes sometimes. It's really a word like rideable. You see it when you're practicing, but then when you have to remember whether it's actually good in a game, that's tougher, Heidi.
Yes, for sure. Unrideable. Oh.
Did that fit somewhere?
No, that is the tag that we now see under Josh's.
Oh, I see. Yeah, I didn't catch that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Arie's tag wants Ganoff. Why? Yeah. Why is this the only?
Yeah. So, what are the other spellings that make me think this would be good? Because I would definitely play this.
It's like game. Pretty much everything. So, GANEV.
Oh yes, Ganev.
GANOF, right? So those are the two that you would be thinking of, and then there's also GONEF, GONOF, and probably GAN. I said that. I've already lost track of what I've said. So just
Yeah.
suffice to say that we've taken a lot of words like that into this dictionary. And here we're going to see Vag be played. And Arie is almost certain now to get hit by Josh playing in halls. The only question is, does he feel confident enough in meltings to try it there? The answer appears to be yes.
Excellent.
So that's a
Good
big
job.
swing. This is pretty certain to get a challenge from Arie if it's a 5-point challenge. Arie saying, how many? Yeah. And when he hears the answer, and the answer to that question is 94 points.
Oh, ouch.
So when he hears that, I think it looks like he's reached to
Uh,
neutralize the clock, and he's about to get the bad news
and
that
we
it
are playing Collins,
is,
so it's just going to be an extra 5
yeah.
for this. So how much did you say?
So
94 plus 5? Or
94, yeah, it's going to be going up to an extra 5, I believe. So let me give him, now that I'm thinking of it, we can give him his points. Arie's drawn the blank, but that is a pretty devastating bingo for Arie's winning
yeah.
chances. Nice play by him there, though.
Yeah, that looks good. Scores quite a lot.
Gets that F in the good spot, uses up the
Mhm.
O's. I think we like
Yeah.
it.
Beautiful leave.
Oh, I see. He's going to play season.
That's
That's
Quinn.
nice.
Quinn suggested that in the chat we saw. I think I like Yes better too, but
Yeah,
who's
I
going to argue
wonder.
with the North Americans champion? I'm not.
So, I don't know exactly what's happening procedurally. I know
Overdraw,
they.
overdraw. There were 8
Oh,
tiles
it
on
was
the
an
rack.
overdraw. Okay,
Yeah.
gotcha. Look at what Josh is playing now. That's just insane
Oh, I love
word
that one. I love
vision
that.
on his part to
Yes.
spot that play. That's tremendous.
I love that.
Um,
That's so great. That's one of those things like if you don't have that or if you don't see it, that you just got such a horrible, horrible wreck. Like, but
yeah.
yeah.
It's worth noting that it's possible that I don't know if that's necessarily the best end game play just because he knows that with Arie holding the Q, it might be kind of difficult for Arie to do much of anything and get rid of that Q. There's really only there are two spots for him to play it, the Eye of Season and the Eye of In-Halls. But just knowing that Arie is going to be dumping his Q for not that many points, maybe Josh can do something creative, but it's hard to think that's not going to be the best play, and it's certainly a really fun word. So, yeah, anyway, Josh is in a situation here, actually, where he only, I don't think that's a valid word.
Ooh, it's
SOR. What I was going to say is there's only one place for him to play the R, and it's next to the A of narrate and Hrivna. So that's not
and
valid.
Ari's not
He's not
doesn't
reacting at all to
yeah.
it. So, oh well. So a
So
phony 3 on the board, not something you see every day. Um, and all right, Goofy is the play by Arie. Josh with the final score of 512 to 405
amazing.
for Arie. So very impressive performance overall. There was the brief hiccup for Josh Sokol of playing Baird instead of Rideable or
Yes.
Ribolder. Other than
Yes.
that, he played beautifully in this game.